Hello everyone, George here, Catholic Positive Energy. Nice to see everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful week and I hope you're having a wonderful day right now. Hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day yesterday. So, anyways, what I want to talk about today is understanding anger. Okay? Now, every single one of us has been angry at some point in our lives. Or maybe you may even still be going through something right now where you're a little angry about something you may be going through. Now, as I've said before, I have two jobs. One of my main jobs is being an armed security guard at a shopping center. Now, I see a lot of anger all the time. And now, obviously, I do not aspire to be an angry person. There are times that I am angry. Oh yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm never angry. Even Mr. Rogers, who you would think was never angry, he even admitted there were times that he was angry. You can go on YouTube and you can find a video about him talking about where he got angry with one of his grandsons after a difficult day at work. And he was playing with a hose, and he squirted the hose very close to where Grandpa, Mr. Rogers, was standing. And he got very angry with him, and he said to his grandson, "That's it, you've had it." I guarantee you, if I was a kid and I was doing that to any one of my family members, squirting a hose close to where they were standing without getting them wet, oh yes, they would be mad at me, certainly. But I want to finish the end of that story. And Mr. Rogers said that after he got home, he felt a little bad about it, so he called his grandson over the phone. And his grandson said, "Oh, Bubba," he calls his grandpa Bubba. "Oh, Bubba, that's okay, I understand." And he was glad that his grandpa called and wanted to make sure there was no hard feelings. That's what made it all the better. So anyways, about the anger thing. At my job mainly consists of me, this is what I'm supposed to do, kick homeless people out of the shopping center who are loitering, overstaying their welcome. Just tell them to leave, and if they don't, then I call the police to remove them. There are a lot of other things that I do witness at my job, or even in life. I try to... Here's something I strongly recommend. See, we will never fully understand everything about life, but it's good to understand things about human interaction. You see, you don't just learn about how to interact with people when you're interacting with them. I've learned, and this is a valuable learning tool, I learn a lot more about human interaction when I watch how other people interact. If I'm not a part of the conversation or the interaction, it's easier for me to learn. I watch how these people over here interact. I watch how they talk, how they laugh, how they react, how they feel pain, how they feel happiness. And then I learn, okay, it's okay to use these methods to interact with people. Make a joke, be funny, be relaxed, be positive, and then people will want to be around you and they will want to be your friend. Don't just talk about yourself the whole time. If that's all you ever do is talk about yourself the whole time and you never allow other people to talk about things that they care about, that they're interested in, then people will not want to talk to you. So like I say, I find it best to watch and observe people on how they interact, and that's how I learn the very best. But I'll tell you a few stories. I see this happen a lot at my job, at my security job. There are cars driving in the shopping center, and one car came close to hitting another car, and somebody wasn't paying attention, or maybe somebody just turned and the other person wasn't expecting it, and it was a sharp turn, and they came close to hitting another car, and then both people in their cars got very angry. They're honking their horns, and they're saying, well, God knows what they're saying. I don't want to know. I see that happen a lot. People come close to hitting each other with their cars. They're honking the horn. Sometimes they roll down the window to say something to the other person out of anger. And I see that, and I go, oh, geez. I just think, and this is what I'm thinking, don't say anything to the other person, okay? You're angry. Just drive out of there and leave. You don't have to stick around and say something rude, acting childish. If somebody comes close to hitting me, or vice versa, I just want that person to leave and get out of my sight so I can move on, because I don't want to be angry and I don't want to continue to deal with this any longer than I need to do, I'm sure this might have happened to some of you. You're driving your car, maybe somebody came close to hitting you, or you came close to hitting them. Okay, we didn't hit each other, thank the Lord. Go our separate ways. Don't deal with this anymore, because you don't have to. You didn't hit each other. You don't have to talk to each other. You don't have to exchange information. It's over. Move on. That's something I witness a lot at my job. And I always think to myself, now I live in California, and I'm sure most of you watching me also do. At least in this state where I live, because I'm born and raised here, people are always in a hurry when they get in their cars. They're different people. When they're in their cars, they like to get from point A to point B and not have any issues in between. They don't like traffic. They don't like people coming close to hitting their cars, or vice versa. They're very touchy about these things. Now, I'm only in a hurry if I'm trying to get somewhere and I have to be somewhere by a certain time. I'm not always in a hurry. Okay? I try to be relaxed, because one of the worst things you could ever do in life is to not be relaxed. I'll probably try to strengthen that quote. It'd be nice to have more catchphrases other than dignification is better than criticism, which I came up with all by myself, by the way. Here's another thing I witness oftentimes in my life as far as anger. Now, whenever I do have to kick someone out of the shopping center who is loitering and who has overstayed their welcome, been a nuisance, or has caused some level of trouble, I hear this a lot. Now, depending on, I will say this, gotta be careful, depending on where they're from, whenever I'm removing somebody from someplace, and I've noticed this happens everywhere, not just to me, if somebody is being kicked out of some place and they don't like it and they feel that they don't deserve it, they'll often say this, "Oh, I know a lawyer. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to call my lawyer and sue you for discriminating me." I've noticed a lot. When people feel that they're being treated very badly, unfairly, or they're being kicked out of a place when they feel that they didn't deserve to be, they often threaten the other person, the person who's removing them. They threaten to sue them. They threaten them with lawsuits. I see that a lot, and I've been on the receiving end of quite a few of those. I've never been sued before, because I never do anything really, really bad. I'm just doing my job, and it's nothing personal. But that's just their anger talking. That's just their outburst of anger blowing up out of their mouth. When somebody's being told what to do, or that they have to leave when they didn't want to, yeah, they'll threaten to sue you, or they'll threaten to get you fired from your job. That's something I see a lot happening in the world, and it does happen a lot. This is why I feel it's very important for us to have positive communities like Catholic Positive Energy, or even, I know you can still get it out there, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, even though that's mostly aimed towards children. The late Mr. Rogers was a very positive, influential person, the king of positive energy. Or even my dear friend Holly, on her Facebook page, Positive Quotes with author Holly. It's important that we have positive communities filled with positive energy in this world, because as I've said just now, that there's a lot of angry people out there in the world, and anger is a very bad poison that leads to negative energy. There is such a thing as righteous anger, but most of the anger that happens out there is not righteous. It's happened because I don't think I won't say that word. It happens because people are angry with each other and they react to things badly. So, yeah, I just see this happen a lot. Somebody comes close to hitting each other in their car, they're angry. Somebody is being removed from a place of business, they're angry. somebody didn't get what they wanted, or they got something that they didn't want, and they respond in anger to that other person. Or here's something that happens a lot. Usually when I go to Mass, and I usually hear this within my fellow parishioners, like somebody may not like a priest because of the way they preach, or they're hard to understand because they're not from this country and they have a heavy accent and it's hard to understand them, or they don't like the priest's personality, or they feel that they don't preach in the best way possible, and the way they talk, it kind of puts people to sleep. I hear that a lot. Well, everybody has a different style, and not everybody is going to preach or speak to crowds in the way you want them to, or the way you feel that they should. But like I say, even though you often hear me say dignification is better than criticism, for those of you who are Catholic and who regularly attend Mass, I would just say this: if you ever meet a priest or a deacon who may not preach in the best way possible, this is the best way to handle this, okay? Talk to that priest or deacon or whoever. Talk to them in private. Make sure there's no one else there. Don't send them an email. Talk to them in private. Try to be as nice and respectful as possible, and let them know, I feel the way you speak, the way you preach, it puts people to sleep in a sense. Maybe if you, and I just want to strongly recommend this, and I mean no disrespect, if you preached in this type of a way and with this kind of style, it would be so much more effective. People would really be influenced by your preaching. People would be very much heavily influenced in a very positive way if you spoke like this and not in a type of boring manner. And hopefully they will say, okay, thank you very much, I will take that under advisement. That's how you get people to change. Also, since we're on the subject of anger, let me tell you a story. This just happened to me 2 days ago. Now, I was attending Mass, and obviously I'm praying a lot, for the Lord to help me to be much more better at forgiving others. Forgiveness is not always easy to do, but we all need to be in this together and help each other out, pray for each other, and then forgiveness won't be as hard as it is right now. I was praying for that, and I remember during communion, obviously I'm down on my knees and I'm praying, and by the time I'm done, I get up and I sit back down in my seat. Now, I was totally quiet. I wasn't looking at anybody or talking to anybody, and there was an elderly woman sitting behind me. I'd never met her before in my life, and she was sitting behind me, and she said into my ear that, she said, you should stay on your knees the whole time because Jesus suffered for you. And I just kind of looked at her, and I thought, why is she saying this to me? Why is she snapping at me? I don't even know her. We've never met before. What's her problem? So I waited for the Mass to be over, and then I turned around and I looked at her. Now, we're wearing masks, so all she can see is my eyes. And she saw the way I was looking at her. I wasn't very happy. And here was something that she did. You're going to love this. She apologized to me, and she immediately just regretted snapping at me for no reason. She said she doesn't know what came over her. So I shook her hand, and I forgave her. All right, I accepted her apology. And at first I was going to say something, but after she said this, I cooled off a little bit. And I said to her, now here's something, I'm going to say this to you. I don't feel that guilt-tripping someone or shaming someone is an effective method of evangelization. Okay? Now, this has happened to me a lot by family members when I was a kid, and I never appreciated it, and I still don't. If someone is shaming you or trying to send you on a guilt trip, make you feel guilty in order to get you to change and make you feel differently than you do before, or preach to you in a way where they want you to change by guilt-tripping you and shaming you, that's not effective. That always made me very upset, and it tore me apart when people did that to me. Never shame someone or guilt-trip someone, especially a child or a young person. Okay? That method fails. Okay? Now, if someone is preaching to me and they don't use those methods, I'm very influenced. See, this is the kind of preaching that works for me, and I'm sure that this will work for you. If the person is, whether they're just talking to you or they're preaching to a whole crowd and you just happen to be sitting in that crowd, when they explain things, obviously at least when they're smiling while they're talking, and if they talk in a way and communicate in a way that is loving to you and shows that they care, and they explain things in a way where they're speaking in a positive manner, and they have very good manners, and if it's a guy and he's trying to be a gentleman, or if it's a female and they're trying to be sophisticated, they communicate that to you effectively, and hopefully they're smiling most of the time, and they talk to you and explain things to you in a way that doesn't involve shaming or guilt tripping. That is an effective mode of evangelization. It is. See, I've noticed older folks, they want to help teach young people things, and I think that's good. Young people, obviously we're going to learn things from people who've been around the block more than once, who have life experience. But shaming and guilt tripping doesn't work at all. Please don't ever do that. One of these days I'll probably do a full-length broadcast about these things I'm talking about. But like I said, I forgave that woman. We talked, we laughed a little bit, and she listened to what I said, and I said, listen, I understand that you're trying to convey some important information to me, but your methods are not good methods. If you want to stress the importance of kneeling during Holy Communion to Jesus Christ, then communicating in a much more different way would be much better. Usually, if I'm talking to someone older than me and I try to, even if I try to be a really good gentleman when I talk about it, a lot of times these older people won't like it, and they'll think, well, you don't tell me what to do, I'm older than you. I don't take orders from you because you're younger than me. See, that's pride. And just in case you didn't know, I can say this because this is a Catholic community, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. It goes like this. Have you ever heard of pale gas? This is how I remember them. It's pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth. Pale gas. That's how you remember the 7 deadly sins, beginning with pride. And pride is not a good thing to have. So, maybe one day I'll even do a full-length broadcast on each of those. Maybe, we'll see. Obviously, I want all of my broadcasts to be surrounded by positive energy, still Catholic teachings, but positive energy. So, yeah. But like I say, these things, as far as anger, I see this a lot when people get in their cars, or if somebody's not getting something that they want, or maybe somebody's family member isn't listening to them, or somebody's having some big financial trouble, and then they're angry and they're mad at the world. If you know anybody, and I will say this, hopefully, I hope anybody watching this right now, if you are somebody who's mad at the world, please, I highly recommend this. Please find people in your life who are very happy, positive, and at peace. Spend time with them and talk to them. Because if you're somebody who's mad at the world, that is a very bad place for you to be. Not a good place to be at all. Please try not to be mad at the world. If you suffered a great loss and you can't get it back because it was something out of your control, please don't ever be mad at the world. Anger is one of the first causes of a lot of terrible negative energy that will cause a lot of unhappiness in your life. Just maybe 1 or 2 more things before I close. Now, when I was a kid, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, there were a lot of times I was angry because, well, I grew up surrounded by anger. And if I was at school and maybe some classmates of mine did something to me I didn't like, I would get angry with them. Maybe I might yell at them, or I would just have an outburst of anger. And other people saw it, See, I didn't understand this at the time because I was probably about 6, 7 years old. I didn't understand this at the time, but when my classmates would see that I was angry when I was a kid, they would kind of look at me in shock. And I didn't understand it. I thought everybody does that, what I did as far as having an angry outburst. But now I've learned no, it's not. So if you are angry with other people, wherever it is you may be, and other people observing you see that you're angry and you have an angry outburst, people are going to look at you and go, boy, this person is angry. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want to be their friend. I don't want them angry with me. I don't want to sit next to them at the dinner table because they're angry. Man, this person is angry. I don't want to be near them. These are the kind of things that people think of when they see that somebody is angry. They have a bad image of the person. Now, hopefully, those of you watching, hopefully you don't want anybody to have a bad image of you. As much as possible, I don't want anyone to have a bad image of me, but you can't please everybody, there are a lot of public figures out there, famous people, or, who may be beloved by some people, but not beloved by others. I try not to judge, okay? I try not to. And obviously, like I say, anger, in a sense, when it's used, when anger is misused, it can be a poison. This is what I wanted to emphasize today. Anger, when it's misused, becomes a poison. It does. Because it leads to a lot of other things. One day I'll do a different broadcast where I'll expand on this in greater detail. But anger leads to a world of unhappiness. This is why, I'm sure you've heard of the count to 10. If you're angry, count to 10. Or maybe something else, I don't know. I don't know what else is out there. If you are angry, then you need to take a deep breath as quickly as you can, walk away, cool off, so you're not angry anymore. You need to walk away and cool off. So, like I say, anger can become a poison. And I hope that if you are somebody who is overwhelmed with anger, find some very wonderful, loving, caring people in your life who can help you through it. Because when it comes right down to it, and I know there are a lot of people out there who will say this when they see somebody might have anger issues or some kind of issues, they'll say, you need to see a counselor or you need to see a psychiatrist who can help you out through this, okay? That may be true in some cases, but I look at things on a case-by-case basis. The truth of the matter is we all need friends. Everybody needs friends, okay? And here's a good example. For those of you who love watching movies, have you seen that movie, What About Bob? Yeah, let me have a drink. Okay. Now, in that movie, Bob, who was played by Bill Murray, had a lot of, terrible issues. And he went and saw a psychiatrist. And he wanted to be around him all the time. And as the movie's progressing, Bob becomes friends with the psychiatrist's family while they're on vacation. And then he started feeling a lot better about himself because he had friends. If you watch that movie, you'll see the truth of the matter is Bob just needed friends. Now, for the people who you often see who might have anger issues or some kind of issues, when it really comes down to it, these people need friends. Everybody needs friends. You see, most people out there do not want to be isolated. They do not, very few out there want to live a solitary life. Okay? And usually when someone is living a solitary life, not by choice, they become very, very unhappy. So, but I've noticed people who have lots of friends who make them laugh and make them happy and who are there for them, they tend to be much more happier and at peace than these other people who I've referred to. So the truth of the matter is everybody needs friends. And if you have friends, and hopefully unconditional friends, or another way of saying it, whatever friends, people who will be your friends, whatever and no matter what you do, people become more happier that way. So remember, when anger is misused, it becomes a poison. Please try very hard not to be angry all the time. And try not to be overwhelmed with anger, because that will cause a lot of negative energy in your life. And we're not about negative energy, we're about positive energy, because that's what we're about here at Catholic Positive Energy. Getting rid of negative energy and creating positive energy. So I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, and hope you've enjoyed me throwing my 2 cents, or maybe, I don't know, 99 cents out there. I know I talked for a while. So, but that's that. I just want to remind everybody now, right before I went on the broadcast here, I can see in the Facebook group now we have 438 members and now 25 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So like I say, for all of you who watch my broadcasts regularly, please, if you do have a YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I see I have a friend watching on the Facebook page. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Martha Chopite? Please forgive me if I didn't say that right. Okay. Nice to see you here, Martha. So like I say, we are slowly growing. And I'm surprised because we've been around for over 2 years now. My friend Steve is watching me. Hello, Steve. Nice to see you. 2 years now that we've had Catholic Positive Energy, and we've grown now in the Facebook group to 438 members, and on the YouTube channel to 25 subscribers. So please, I want the YouTube channel to grow. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there who have a lot of subscribers because they like to post pranks or some, strange, funny humor. It would be nice to, I would love to be a YouTuber out there who is known for kindness and positive energy, not for pranks or any kind of strange humor. I would love to, be known for positive energy and for being kind. So anyways, I think I'm going on and on now. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. And please continue to pray for me. It's been wonderful spending time with you all today. I hope you enjoy your week. So God bless you. And please remember, dignification is better than criticism.